Hello world! Curses and madness be upon you all for life fighters. It has been said that all roads lead to Branthium, and it seems our destination just might be on the horizon. With the new Horizon teaser released yesterday on Twitter, we got another mention of the word Branthium, literally just the word itself. I've previously connected Horizon to Ash in this video here, using hints dropped much earlier in the season, but I hadn't been able to reach a conclusion on what Branthium was. So today, with Horizon's connection in mind, I'm going to lay out my ideas for what Branthium could actually be. Now, I don't have any exact specifics, there's just not enough information for that at all. But I at least feel that Branthium can be categorized into a few distinct forms. In my mind, Branthium is most likely to be a place, a person, a substance, or an ideology. And I'm going to explore each briefly to look at how likely each might be. Now, the "all roads lead to Branthium" quote from Ash can quite easily fit all of these interpretations, given the real-life quote states that all roads lead to Rome. While this might make you jump to Branthium being a place, this is actually my least favourite interpretation, as the original quote no longer actually has any relevance to a physical location, and instead is a metaphor for a process of events leading to one final conclusion. Given the prevalence of the upcoming Olympus, it also seems odd to lump another more mysterious location right alongside it, as this would muddle the importance of each. Branthium being a planet or a city, etc. also has very little weight until we learn what the situation of that place is, like we have with Olympus. Without that, all we know is we have to go there. And the events of the place would then immediately take precedent over the place itself once we learn them, which would make Branthium itself the least important aspect of the scenario. And so to continue that thought, it would most likely be the actions of a person or a group of people that would be more important in said scenario. Branthium being an individual or collective certainly has more weight than it being a location, given that people are far more likely to affect the status quo of the Outlands than a place will. So Branthium could be an important person that has set many things in motion in the past, or someone we need to find in order to set something greater in motion in the present. But there's no one exactly evident in the surrounding lore that applies to, except maybe the original Dr. Hammond or someone from the IMC. But people are themselves defined by their ideas and beliefs, which leads us to my third point of Branthium being an ideology or a grand plan or some particular event. The all roads quote certainly fits this idea the best, and this can work both leading into a future event or stemming from a past one. This idea also rather befits the general mystery that has been created around Branthium, as the answer will not be easy to pass in its entirety, even if we do learn that it is the name of a plan or an event or a specific goal in mind. The specifics of such are likely going to be hidden from us at first, whereas a person, place or substance will be easier to figure out at base just from knowing what they are. As for what Branthium could be aiming to achieve, given that both Ash and Horizon mention it, there is likely some connection to interdimensional travel or a reference back to the Ark from Titanfall II, which makes me think that some kind of merging of dimensions or timelines could be the reason for the all roads quote, with Branthium then being the collected singular universe that results from that merging. However, if we are to look back at Branthium being the cause for current events rather than a specific aim, and that all roads lead back to it, I'd imagine that it has something to do specifically with the Ark, and the explosion that signalled the waning days of the Frontier War has come to be known as the Branthium event. This could link into things like the lack of jump drive tech in the Outlands, or the power structures that have emerged following the dissolution of the IMC. But there's possibly an even clearer interpretation surrounding this idea, and that's that Branthium is a substance. In fact, the substance or the material that the Ark is made from. Ium is a common suffix used for many elements of the periodic table, and the way that Horizon refers to it in the new teaser makes it sound like she treats Branthium as an object rather than a person, place or idea. To me, it sounds like she says something along the lines of, "Here's the Branthium." which makes it sound like a trade, again only largely possible with a substance compared to those other ideas. Whereas the Branthium, as it also could be interpreted, also has sort of the same implications. It is a thing. The material the Ark is made of obviously has huge ramifications for the Apex universe, given the Ark's place in the history of the Frontier, as it is the cause of many situations we find ourselves in now, and it has huge possibilities for the future as well. I'd even argue that Horizon herself uses Branthium, the substance, the element, to manipulate gravity, as this is one of the observable features of the Ark, and gravity is the most likely fundamental force to be used in order to time travel or dimension hop a la Project Wraith. This also can create a sort of arms race or resource war, as the valuable substance of Branthium becomes more and more desired by the powers that be, and any aspirational individuals who wish to use it for their own purposes, legends included. So, you may have realised by now that Branthium being a substance is my favourite interpretation of the lot, as it can be rather easily determined what the substance would do and where it came from based on the characters involved, and the impact it can have on the focused stories of the legends and the wider story of the Outlands is massive yet understandable. For instance, Ash's point has relevance not just to the impact of the Ark on the wider world, but back to her own circumstances as well, given she was thrown into a dimensional portal. By comparison, a place, person, or ideology don't exactly give us anywhere near that kind of information just by existing in their base form. Even taking Branthium as the substance the Ark was made of suggests the possibility that we can now create or engineer said substance, which again has far-reaching consequences that we can actually already understand. This also gives us a universal sort of MacGuffin that we can use for a number of plot-related things, including explaining Revenant's abilities or of an object of desire that could achieve future change. It could even have led us back to the Shadowfall dimension, or be the thing that gives the Shadows the ability to wall run. Who knows? I personally can't wait for another road to unearth itself so we can venture closer to Branthium. Expect another teaser later today on Twitter, and for me to spin a yarn about it. Let me know below which of these you think fits Branthium best, because that's all from me for now. Thanks for staying with me, friends. I've been Euclidean Vision, the emotional support. Take care of yourselves out there, teammates, and may the glorious light of Beskil shine within you. Bye-bye.